Check 1 2 1 2. What is this? This is the From the Mind podcast. We are back with the. This is an exclusive that I've really wanted to have for a long time.
Wipe yourself, you sweat.
Bro, I was actually pretty cool in the white hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Now I got the black on. My man Bilaal came in, set everything straight. He said, "Nah, you gotta take that hoodie off."
We got to coordinate.
Bilaal Briggs.
For sure.
Good,
My
bro.
nigga.
What up?
You tell me.
Chilling,
What's
man.
been going on?
Chilling. Yo, it's been too long. I mean, I don't even know where to start with that question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, honestly, we probably haven't. When's the last time we actually have seen each other?
Shit, pandemic. 21.
Probably like 2021.
Definitely 21.
Yeah.
Because I left Caspi at 21.
So, yeah, and I left not too long after that. Yeah, it had to have been 21 because I think that's when I started at Bar Taco as well. So, I feel like we came to one during a Monday. And
For real?
But it was like early on,
early in the game.
early when, like as soon as I left. So maybe like a couple months after I left. So maybe like fall 2021.
Damn.
Last time we seen each other. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
Still look the same.
I was gonna say, yeah, you do too. I mean, it look maybe a little bit uglier than what I remember.
Black don't crack. Happy Black History Month.
Oh man, bro, So I was thinking about where to start, and one of the questions I was going to ask was just kind of based on like introducing you to the listeners or the viewers, depending on how they watching this. But I wanted to start with James. Do you remember my cousin Wally, producer on the show, partner in the business? Do you remember when you gave me your iPod? You either gave me an iPod that already had music already preloaded on it.
That's where that iPod went. I forgot what I did with it. Yeah.
So back in so he's from PG County, right? He lived in Upper Marlboro, and back in maybe 2007, he gave me this iPod, and on it, I feel like it was like 25 songs. Like nigga gives you an iPod, you just gonna take the songs that is already on that shit if you didn't already have an iPod back in the day.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So, I remember all 25 songs, but the one, like the music that left the biggest impression on me was the Go-Go and T.O.B. in 2007 was all on that joint. And it wasn't, once I started working with you in 2020, you was talking about that you was actually out there with them back in those days. Like,
hell yeah.
That, their sound was absolutely impeccable, man. Really kind of revolutionized the scene.
Shout out to T.O.B., man. Lil Chris.
How you get into that scene early? So I guess that's kind of introduced.
I mean, the go-go scene, you don't really just get into it. It just happens. I caught the addiction my 9th grade year in high school. And from there, I fell in love with it. And I was more impressed by the people who were getting their names shout out.
Right.
So I was like, man, I have to be one of those dudes, dog. Like, that was the biggest thing in the go-go. Like, you getting your name shouted out. I mean, your hood, of course, but if they can attach your name with the hood, no better feeling.
And that's like so when I had never been to a go-go at that point.
Yeah.
And, when you listen, I grew up on go-go with, my mother is like, loved go-go. My dad's the same, like really the only thing they actually ever agreed on was like their love of go-go music, ironically. But the shout outs and like, how they add in, the call and response to go-go is like, it's not easily replicated. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's not a lot of scenes that have the connection with DC like the go-go scene has or had. I mean, I don't even know what it's like today, but has historically with DC. So so was it like you was just listening to a lot of go-go, or did you like have an opportunity to do like to go to one?
Well, go-go's are passed down from generations. So my sisters used to go to a go-go, but I was too young. I didn't understand why my sister was coming home at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, still in my mom's car. Like, I didn't understand what the obsession was about.
Right.
Until I got old enough to really experience it myself. And I'm just like, yo, like, this shit is crazy. It does something to the mind and the soul. And it takes you somewhere that no other genre of music can take you.
My dad used to say it was spiritual. The drums.
Yeah.
The drums is like almost like our
Nah, real-
ancestors
nah,
in a
real
lot
shit.
of ways talking to us.
Like, if you sit back and really observe go-go, it's just loud-ass banging with a bass. Like,
right.
and then over the time, it just got musical. And it's impeccable, man.
Yeah. Were you ever in a band?
No, I wasn't. But you would have thought I was. The way I studied go-go was kind of creepy. But
How?
like I would know the signs of the next song that's coming on. Like I would know the signs that when the band put up this,
Yeah.
I know what song's about to come on.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. So I'll already be mentally prepared. And everybody's like, how you know? I'm like, bruh, this song, they about to hit this, watch.
Was that just from watching the bands over and over again? Like you would just kind of get familiar with the signals?
Yeah, everything I do, I study it. So I wanted so much out of go-go. So I wasn't just there to attend and have a good time. I was there actually to just become the person that I always wanted to become.
Yeah. So would you say that was like kind of like your foray into party promoting, like in the grand scheme?
Listen, party promoting, I don't know where that came from.
But is it similar?
Now, being in the go-go helped me be successful in promoting.
Right.
But those two are completely different.
Completely different worlds.
Yeah, two different worlds.
Yeah. Would it be like you were like organized? You was just like kind of help promote certain parties though, or
For go-go?
for go-go?
No,
or you was just
I didn't.
in that
I
joint?
was just in attendance.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting because I just remember like maybe B Rose playing.
Do you know the history with B Rose?
No, now can you want to explain that?
So that's how I met B Rose, honestly.
At the Go-Go's. That's what I was talking. Yeah, that's what I kind of wanted to touch
his
on.
older brother Roger used to play keyboard for T.O.B.
Roger B.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So, then Ambrose came in. So he was the keyboard player for T.O.B. as well.
Really?
Yeah. Then we all
know
went to
that.
the same high school.
Damn.
So that kind of like put us all together.
Yeah. So y'all was that while you? That wasn't while you was in high school, was it?
Yeah. All the shit was while we was in high school.
So y'all. Oh my God, what was that
So
like?
we had school during the week and
Yeah.
go-go on the weekend.
What was it like? You was probably like popular as shit in high school because of that shit.
Well, I didn't become popular. Well, I was always popular in school, period, because I was just always different. Like I broke every single rule there possibly could be.
Yeah.
But popularity didn't come, I would say, 10th, 11th grade.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
And when I started getting really deep into go-go, I would say I dropped out by then. I literally dropped out of school because of go-go. Like, I'm not trying to blame go-go,
It's
but
a DC love story.
to have the perfect attendance, like, school was not an option.
Yeah.
There's no way you can go to school and be at every single go-go.
I mean, and plus you're probably looking at it like this might even benefit me more, in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Like, taking it to 12th grade and going off to college, like, no.
When did you get into actually making music yourself?
I would say 2010, 11. Me and a couple homies, we just decided to just try it. It was just a thing that came to mind, and we executed it perfectly.
Right.
It's crazy.
You always had like whenever you would play your music for me, I always not that I was ever expecting less, right?
Yeah.
But I was always pleasantly surprised. Just kind of like in the way that you storytell, with the venues that you rapped about in the past, like being there, it's like, oh, now I see it after listening to the song, and it actually helps me understand you, but also your depth as a songwriter. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've always been super impressed with.
My sound came from go-go.
Mm.
If you can tell the way I bounce on the beat or how I structure a song, everything comes from go-go. I literally learned everything from just being in the go-go.
Yeah. I mean, that rhythm, man, like in being there too, like you gain stage presence just by being there all the time.
Hell
you know
yeah.
what I mean? You're just waiting for your time to get up on that.
And a lot of people always wondered in the nightlife industry, where did I come from? You know what I'm saying? And
That's a good
they
question.
never understood like how I know this person, that person, and how I get this much. So many people come into my parties.
Yeah.
But it comes from past relationships, way past the time of nightlife now. Like, I don't even know when nightlife started, to be honest. You know, I know there's a couple of great promoters way before my time, but I wasn't around for it. Because once Polo died from TCB, I completely stopped going to the go-go. And then I fell into a 10-year relationship, and I just took myself out of the whole spotlight. And
did you know Polo?
Yo, personally,
He's an absolute legend, man. Rest in peace.
Personally, that was my guy. He's responsible for who I am today. Him, Chris, Big G. I don't think I would be nothing without those dudes.
Man, shout out to those guys, man. Those are they're legends in the game.
No,
so to have that tutelage, you know what I mean? They must have seen something probably in you very early. You get what I'm saying?
Something I didn't see.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
It's important. Like, that's so important because most times you'll realize that opportunities sprout because somebody believes in you more than you actually believe in yourself, or somebody sees something in you that you don't even see. Right. And, you know, when me and you first met, that was one of the, like, kind of like the principles of...
I don't even remember when we first met.
I do. Well, I remember... No, I actually remember the first time I met you. And you had come into Caspi, and you had on... Were you, like, working at a...
American Airlines?
Nope. Wait.
No.
Were you working for a delivery? Were you doing...
Nah.
So it had to have been American Airlines. For some reason, it was either you walked in with a brown UPS joint on, or you walked in with the airline.
Because honestly, I didn't have too many jobs in my life.
It was one of the two. It was one of the two. And I just remember meeting you and then being introduced to you, and it was just kind of like, hey man, boom, and that was just it. You just went to smoke your hookah, and then the next time may have been like a couple months later, and we were actually at Cafe 8. And you remember
I do remember that. I do remember that.
I remember you walking up to me. You talk about studying this. Like, when he first introduced himself to me, he comes walking around the corner, right? And he was just like, it was like almost as if he had been in that corner the whole day.
Probably
to walk around a balloon, like a huge smoke ball, his smoke billowing from around the corner. He has like black jacket on, the hood, just sits there and talks to me.
Yeah,
like, who the hell are you?
Nah, I got the word from around the corner.
Yeah. That nigga from Virginia over there.
Yeah. They was like, yeah, man, some promoting nigga sitting on the other side talking about coming here to promote.
Yeah.
So I said, what? So I walked around and I was like, let me see what the fuck going on. So I remember sitting with you all and you were just throwing me your ideas, and I wanted to tell you right then and there, like, you don't want no parts of this shit. This ain't the place for you, bro. Like,
well, I was ultimately saying that the entire time I was there anyway to Badir, because, you know, I wasn't. He was like, I was working. I was doing Caspi.
Hold on, for the record, we're talking about Cafe 8.
Right. Yeah.
Let's
Cafe 8.
Let's bring that up.
Sorry, right. Was that? Did you want to specify that for any particular?
I mean, if you don't know, that's where I started everything when it came to promoting. Cafe 8 is a neighborhood bar, hookah lounge. I met a lot of great people there.
Yeah.
They taught me, for the industry of nightlife, they taught me a lot. And I wouldn't be nothing without those people.
That's dope,
So,
man.
shout out to Cafe 8.
Shout out to Cafe 8.
Spots, that's my boy.
Hey, shout out to Spots, man. I hope he's doing well. So they were bringing me there to look at it, but essentially it's like, man, you gotta
But
come
what
see
were
this
you
place.
coming to look at it for?
Because they're like, he wanted me to promote there. You know what I mean? So when I was looking at it, it wasn't even the venue itself where I was like, nah, or the area.
Yeah.
It was really just like, oh, they have their own vibe in here.
Yeah.
Realistically, knowing what I know now, it was like they even had the right promoter already there, if that makes sense, because of how much you loved it. And when you were, you know, even just making the video, he has a music video called Cafe 8 that we was just listening to. And it's so good. You know what I mean? It's such a great, it's a great form of marketing. So when I don't remember if they showed me that after we left, because I remember like talking to you and then being like, all right, like, yeah, I mean, I just like, you asked a lot of questions, but you didn't say a lot in return, if that makes sense. So that's somebody who is really listening to what it is that they're asking. And, you know, so I came away like, impression, that was very impressionable to me. But yeah, when we left, maybe they played it afterwards. Oh yeah, and he has this song called Cafe 8.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to it, and I just remember being like, yo, this shit's actually good. You know what I mean? Too many times they make you listen to somebody's music, or
it's just like whatever,
and you got to pretend like you like it or something, or you got to like kind of like reach to produce anything that's good.
We could have did so much more with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I was thinking that I was gonna go into a business of shooting, making songs for different venues.
Yeah,
that was the whole idea of doing it. I was like, all right, if I make a song for them, other venues were like, well, come write us a song. And I tried actually, but that's not how it works.
Right.
Like you gotta be deeply in tune to that spot to really even deliver such a project.
that's what I was gonna say. It's probably why the song was so good anyway.
Yeah, because I spent so much time and I have real relationships with the people that's there.
Do you remember what year that was?
That was like 2018.
Okay, so what was so around 2018? Was that like your first project, or how long had you been making music at that point?
Well, from there I was already into music for like 8 years. No, ain't no fucking way. Yeah, shit. I started in like 2011, so 7 years.
Yeah, yes. What's the first? Do you remember like the first song you ever made?
Hell yeah, I remember the first song I ever made.
What was that joint called?
That shit was called Reagan.
Okay.
Like I was talking about the airport and shit.
Were you working at the airport?
No, hell no.
Oh my god, yo, that's kind of
it just was a concept that I came up with. You know, beats talk to me.
Yeah.
Beats tell me what I should deliver. Mm-hmm. So the beat was telling me Reagan. So I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm not about to sing it, so I don't even ask.
You don't remember none of it?
I know. I remember every word.
You can't sing a little bit.
I'm good.
Bro, no, we gotta try to get that. We gotta try to.
Actually,
find
it's still online too.
It's somewhere on there. I'm gonna have to.
I'm gonna send it to you.
I'm gonna get that shit. We're gonna put that on the post production. What was So when you talk about like potentially starting a business when it comes to making songs, like when I listen to Cafe, that's kind of like the one thing that I came up like I was the most impressed about was because you described it so well and promoted it so well, and it was so catchy. Your hooks are very catchy, and that is what those companies are actually looking for in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if you remember Eastern Motors, some nigga had to have just come up with that shit. Probably from DC.
He's still eating from that shit.
Yo, forever.
Yeah.
So many jingles, like this classic DC remix, or like even just like DC advertisements that were heard on 93.9 growing up. You know, if I really sat here and thought about it, what's like so there's Eastern Motors. What's another good like
from the city?
Straight from the city. There's gotta be there. Let me sit here and if I sat here and thought about it, yo,
I don't know because they don't have anymore.
Man, well, yeah, the industry died when you didn't get the job at the other places.
Nah, for real.
You're supposed to be the one to carry on the tradition.
I should have reached out to Eastern Motors.
They need a remix. That nigga needs to quit eating off that.
Yeah.
They ain't get sued for that yet. Ain't it a Shaggy sample?
I'm pretty sure it's somebody else's instrumental. You get what I'm saying? I wonder how that used to work out, right? But yo, that opened up Eastern Motors all the way out in Winchester when I was living there. Just that commercial alone.
She used to crank.
Yeah. So was there ever any other like venues that you ever made any songs for that never got released?
I made a song for Elroy, my homeboy Fred. He used to own this spot called Elroy on 8th Street. I did a song for him, but he sold the building to someone else by the time I was even ready to like pursue a video or any.
Isn't it kind of crazy though, like how any marketing that you could potentially put into another venue, you can do for yourself.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So, but just having, when you said beats speak to me, that spoke to me because I would write my music just based on the instrumental that either I was making or I heard.
Right.
And I couldn't like write before I heard it. You get what I'm saying?
I've never been a writer where I can just write lyrics.
Yeah.
Like that's the complete. I'm the complete opposite.
Because I remember like you being in Caspi with the headphones in for hours, trying to write some songs, and they would come out amazing each time. Another thing I noticed about like your production style is that you put a lot of thought into that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
the only way to stand out. I mean, production is the most important thing of a song.
Are you in the engineer's ear like you was in my ear about setting the podcast up and shit?
Man, shout out to Lil Kevin, man. That's my engineer to this day. Yeah, he knows. Like, I don't sit there and just let him mix. I'm like, bro, put that right there. Yo,
Yeah.
drop the beat, yo, slow it down, yo, cut the beat out. Like,
Yeah.
of course, I mean, closed mouth don't get fed. I mean, I can sit there and let them mix it, and then I get home and I'm completely unsatisfied. But why not just be there? And I mean, I'm paying, what, $75 an hour. I might as well get all of it out of it.
A lot of people, like, that mentality is one that I practice. You know what I mean? I have the same type of philosophy, especially when it comes to like working with a producer, working with a videographer, whatever the case may be. If you're going to spend the time on it, right, you might as well get exactly what you are thinking, exactly what the image that you're trying
and
to
it's
paint.
smarter to pre-record the song at home before you go lay it down, because all I would do is book 2 hours and I would already know the song. So I would lay the song down in like 25 minutes and then use the rest of the time for mixing.
So you would reference on like voice memo or something like that?
Nah, I'd take GarageBand, set it up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Damn, I forgot. Yo, you used to make some of those songs in GarageBand. You would send me songs from the GarageBand that sounded
right,
perfect.
like 70%.
Yeah, right.
It was some GarageBand songs that I did that sound better than the actual mix in the studio.
Damn, bro. That's the beauty. That's the gift and the curse about creating music, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? By the time it finally comes out, even though it is like mixed and mastered, depending on what process you go for the listener, you've already heard it a million times, and you heard the original version of it.
Right, but it's a gift and a curse because when you lay it down at home, all that passion for that song is already coming out in that pre-production. And then when we get to the studio, it's like you're trying to catch that vibe, but that vibe was already laid at home.
Right.
So it's kind of like, God damn, like I can never hit it like the way I did on pre-production.
Right.
But you never heard the pre-production, so you would never know. You know what I'm saying?
Would you ever like set up a studio, like your own studio, like if you had it?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm trying to go to school for. Music recording technology. I think I could probably be one of the hottest engineers. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's not too many fly engineers. You don't know any engineers.
Right.
It's like popular.
Right.
So I. Right. Nah, for real though. Like every time a rapper's in the studio and they post a picture of them in the studio, their engineer looks exactly like me.
Oh my God, it's such a good point, bro.
Nah, that's serious.
It's such a good point.
So I feel like going to school and get it on paper instead of trying to do it, you know, street way. Get that shit on paper. It can put me in some big studios.
Yeah,
you know?
and then the shit that you learn in those courses, you know, I was just talking to, I'm reading a book called Atomic Habits, and essentially what it's about is just like trying to change, if you want to change certain habits, if you want to lead your life like towards success, essentially it just starts with trying to change something every day, trying to work every day to get towards the person that you actually want to become, right?
Right.
So with studio engineering, the process in when you're recording it with somebody who, like in my case, my engineer, he had never really produced hip hop like that before, and he definitely wasn't producing the rap that I was trying to make, especially with me making my own beats, right? So we would have to sit there in this expensive ass studio. So essentially my time, he wasn't even really, he was actually being lenient on his time, because he ran the studio, which was in Shenandoah University. So it's like a multi-million-dollar studio, and my ass is in there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing in there, but we had to like sit there every single day in order for him to hear the sounds that I was trying to explain.
Right.
You know, and by the time we were done, then he could have taken that anywhere he wanted to. So with school, it's like no matter where it ends, so when people go and they don't graduate, or if they do graduate, no matter what, no matter where you land, you'll land farther than where you were before you started.
Right.
So yeah, you could be a sick ass engineer,
Man,
bro, out there.
I'm trying to get it all type of ways.
In 2 months, man. In 2 months.
Nah, seriously.
What was the so when we did finally, so we had that conversation, and when we actually really fully talked, when we actually really met, was during the pandemic in Tampa.
Pandemic changed everyone's life.
Talk about it.
It's funny because I always thought about now, like when I look back at that time, I was labeled as a pandemic promoter. You know, you had your real promoters and you just had pandemic promoters.
Somebody hating made that shit up.
Nah, it's true, bro. Like, pandemic was the route everyone took, man.
What's yours?
Nah, that ain't
All right, cool. Yeah.
Pandemic was it was dangerous, but at the same time it was successful for a lot of people. And I got a lot of success out of the pandemic.
When it was the people that were taking risks at the time, like when you say that, you're actually right. Like you're right but because of the fact that we were kind of deemed that for a minute, I always kind of took a little offense to the term, you know, pandemic promoter. So you remember how but you remember though, Caspi really blew up because of the fact of they had all those restrictions on hookah in the city, right? Mm-hmm. So that's not necessarily anybody's fault, right? But what happened was after the restrictions lifted, then you got to see if people were still out at those spots, and they couldn't deny that whatsoever. So I felt like that term was a little dismissive, but that's just me.
I don't think it was. I think it was the truth because I wasn't promoting before the pandemic. I was working for Cafe, but I was doing that shit off the strength. I wasn't even labeling myself as a promoter.
Right.
I was just helping them build their brand.
Right.
And then I moved over to Caspi when they opened Caspi because it was a lot more space. You know, the ambiance is beautiful over there. And I just knew with this spot, I'm like, yo, I can really start inviting some real people out. Right. No offense to Ep.8, but, you know, I think the people that I'm speaking on would appreciate Caspi more than Ep.8. And I used to just come to Caspi chilling. And one day, you know, they're like, yo, you should just throw parties. Like, you should get paid to do this. Because I was just bringing in people on the strength. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, nah, that's not my lane. Like, you know, I'm not trying to do that. But they're like, I think you'll be good at it. And I'm like, all right, let's give it a shot. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, it's just been up.
Bro, I mean, but you were naturally good at it.
I was a pandemic promoter. And I say that because I didn't get caught up in, everyone's supporting me. But no, when DC opened back up and Rose Bar opened back up, my parties went from 150 people to like 25 people. Real shit.
I don't remember that. I feel like
we had a nice little run, but it wasn't as lit as it was.
It was definitely
when
more
Rose Bar was closed.
But the reason why, I'm not going to give you any pushback. Like if it's a pandemic promoter, that's what it is. But you proved that you really weren't.
Nah, yeah, we didn't get to that part.
Yeah, okay, all right.
No,
sorry, I'm thinking too far ahead.
Yeah, we didn't get to that part. But I'm just saying, like, I'll take the pandemic promoter all day, every day. But I'm probably the only promoter who started in pandemic who actually kept going and went to bigger places.
We met in Tampa. We all hung out. It was a great
clear the
time.
record.
Yeah.
You know, Zoe is the reason why. You are the reason why I'm obsessed with Tampa. You know what I'm saying? I booked a random trip in June of 2020. Yeah. You know, my brother always used to tell me, bro, you need to go to Tampa. You keep going to Miami, go to Tampa. And I'm like, no. Yeah. I'm going to Miami. But I took a leap of faith. I went out there. And I don't know how this worked, but Zoe wound up being there and a couple other friends. Yeah. And you showed me the way. Yeah. You introduced me to the right people, and
all I did was take him to one strip club, and the rest was history. The nigga found his way in that strip club. You don't know that the Tampa strip clubs are stuff of legend in a lot of ways.
Nah, for real.
That nigga got off the plane. We went to go get something to eat. We went to one strip club, and before you know it, I'm following him through the city.
Nah, for real. Hey, look, I never forget this shit. So my first time in Tampa, dog, my very first time. And we left the strip club to go to another spot. Yeah. I walk in the spot, and you call me. You like, yo, come get me from the door. And I'm like, nigga, this your city.
Yo, this nigga was gone.
And then I literally came and got this nigga from the door.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that means I was really following you literally hours later, and you had just been in the city for maybe 4 hours.
4 hours, yeah.
You know, some things is just meant to be. You
Nah,
say that
for
a
real.
lot. You
Nah,
get what I'm saying?
dead
You never
ass.
know what God has in store for you.
For
So
real.
all that shit, like, I know people out there have always been, connected out there just through them. But I was trying to figure that shit out too. And when I saw you take off, it was like, oh shit, like the idea to potentially do a club or a venue or something out there, it always made sense to me.
So that's my idea right now. Like,
so you still want to do it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So this B World Tampa situation is just not for. It's not for kid. It's just not for kid. I'm thinking about opening my own lounge down there and really change the game.
Yeah.
Cause Tampa is wide open. It's wide open.
Do they still have like the hookah? Remember for the longest time there was no hookah like in the lounges type shit. Yeah. They got hookah. You.
Oh yeah, I'm
lit.
downtown with it.
Lit.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What was it about Tampa though? Like that really made you? Because I mean, his eyes lit up. It was like going to a toy store. You know what I mean? With a kid.
Man, I don't know, bro. I have attachment problems. Like I get caught up in shit easily, and
You went to the Super Bowl down there when I was down there? Everything.
Yeah, all in Tampa. All in Tampa. Like, we'll get messy about that later. But I think just seeing the potential. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to grow with the city as the city was growing. The city wasn't all the way there yet. You know, a lot of buildings that's up now wasn't even up when we were going out there.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of apartment buildings, a lot of clubs. So I just saw the potential, and I didn't want to be the bandwagon. I didn't want Tampa, like 6 years from now, be the hottest fucking city, and now I'm trying to leech onto this shit.
Yeah.
I'd rather ride away with them right now, thug it out, and then just be that guy.
What's the difference between women in Miami and women in Tampa?
The difference?
Like, what would you say is the primary? So if you stopped going to Miami and started going to Tampa, I would only assume that there's something a little bit more beneficial to
now,
it.
To be honest, I don't think it had anything to do with women.
Okay.
Because I don't want to hurt any feelings by saying this, but I don't think Tampa women can touch Miami women.
I would drop a bomb on that.
And I think Tampa women know that also.
You hurting feelings no matter what.
No, I mean, Miami's Miami, bro. Like, you can't even deny that. Like,
yeah.
Come on now.
I mean, Miami's just insane. But I feel like the thing that I always liked about Tampa and vice versa with Miami, like I would actually prefer to always go to Tampa now that we know what Tampa is.
Yeah, like
it's just
I don't know, man. Like Tampa, like you can't come to Tampa thinking about Miami.
Nah.
You can't go to Miami thinking about Tampa. You gotta really respect what both of them have to offer.
It's like two different,
it's
completely
two different
worlds.
In the same
state.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
it is.
So from there though, when we actually got back, so that was in the middle of lockdown. So Caspi wasn't even open when you had come out that time.
No, everything was
locked
closed,
down.
Yeah.
We didn't even know if we was gonna reopen the joint. It was literally in the midst of all that.
Listen, I remember like it was yesterday. You know, one of the owners of Caspi is a good friend of mine. And she was just sitting at a table and she looked so stressed out. And I'm like, what's wrong? She like, I don't know how we gonna pay for this place if we about to be closed for this long. Like, this pandemic is really about to fuck shit up. And like, that shit sat with me for like 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm at home like, damn, I feel bad. Like, what the fuck can I do? So I just used my Instagram presence and I started pulling up, taking pictures.
Well, what you did was you decided to have your birthday party. And, and
legendary.
And this dude, see, the thing about Caspi is that before the pandemic, we were really practicing for bottle running and shit, right? Yeah. So like the bottles would be ran on the Sunday Funday, but it was all champagne, right? So I'm like enforcing, we gotta run bottles, we need sparklers, all this shit, trying to hire bottle girls and shit.
Right.
Real low level shit, like just trying to put it all together.
Right.
And what ended up happening was like this kind of like we talked about Atomic Habits. If you work on something day by day, you get that much better. Right. So by the time the pandemic hit, we still weren't popping bottles like that. And then we shut down. Yeah. But when we opened back up is when all that work that we did for those couple of months really paid off.
Sure.
Because you can't just throw people into environments like this nigga was was bringing to the table,
Right.
Because it took what we had been doing previously
Yeah.
to a completely different level.
Right.
This guy, was it 23 of them?
30.
This guy, it was his 30th birthday too, right?
Yeah.
On his 30th birthday, hits me up, yo, I'm gonna do it at Caspi. Okay. I'm gonna get 30 bottles of Ace of Spades. And I'm like,
No lie.
what? Dog, I ain't believe that shit till all 30 of them gold motherfuckers sitting on that table, bro.
Yeah, man. At the time, I was thinking about how can I really turn Caspi upside down.
You could mission accomplished.
And I got with my homies at the time, and we talked about it. And I said, you know what? 30 aces on my 30th birthday will completely destroy the game.
Yeah.
But the only part that I'm upset about is that I didn't have the audience. I didn't have enough audience at the time. Like the people that I had at the time was cool, but if I had the audience I have now, the following that I have now, and did it then, oh my God.
Well, but doing things like that probably got you to get to an
Yeah,
audience that you had.
yeah.
Like the thinking
For
then
sure.
was like, first off, you packed it out. Second of all, there were 30
Ah.
bottles of Ace of Spades.
I kind of packed it out.
You packed that joint out,
Come
bro.
on,
You
bruh.
remember back then, dog.
Nah.
You packed it out way more going
Yeah, for
forward.
sure.
But that moment, if you really think about the history and somebody who was there from one point in the book to another, from one chapter to the other,
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic, post-pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
pre-pandemic, mid-pandemic, post-pandemic.
Yeah.
Caspi was never the same after that.
I mean, I just pretty much made it ghetto.
Nigga, you bought 30 bottles of Ace of Spades.
I'm saying after that.
They-
Like, I completely turned that place ghetto. Like,
Oh, ghetto. No. So I consider ghetto.
there was never a time someone was smoking weed inside of Caspi before I even stepped foot
That's
into that
100%
motherfucker.
true. But I would, I would consider that like trapping it out though. Ghetto is when niggas ain't tipping.
Yeah. All right, well,
Ni- ghetto-
you're
yeah.
right. Let's change that.
Yeah, you
I
trapped
definitely
the
trapped
fuck out of Caspi.
I definitely trapped it. It was definitely a hood show. for
Yeah,
sure.
nobody would deny that. But I also think that was the element that was missing.
Mm-hmm.
So where I came from was Clarendon, Boston.
Shout out to Clarendon, man.
Shout out to Clarendon.
Clarendon. Listen,
I was about to
listen.
say.
I'm not gonna sit here and act like Clarendon doesn't play a part in my life also
Yeah.
because
Talk about that real
I
quick.
spent a lot of time in Clarendon.
Was that around, when was that? Like 2018?
Man, it was a short period of time.
Yeah.
It was probably for like 2014 to maybe like 2017.
Did you say you used to be up at
I was at
Whitlow's playing
listen.
that motherfucking
No disrespect to the ballroom, Mr. Days that no longer exists. What was it? Where you used to work at?
Don Tito?
Nah, not to, shout out Don Tito,
Yeah.
but nah, the other one.
A-Town.
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 Yeah. Oh, the almighty A-Town Bar and Grill.
What's the other joint that sit over there? There's Clarendon Ballroom.
Clarendon Ballroom.
There's Don Tito's,
Barbell.
Yeah.
Pampelona.
Shit, you can even add Darn in the equation, honestly, because
yeah.
Darn had been around.
Darna's been around forever too.
But Willow's was my homeroom. Like all those others was just subjects that I attended, but homeroom was fucking Willow's.
Nigga, you
bruh.
told me that shit in 2021 or 2020, and I was like,
See,
nigga, what?
But
Whitlow's?
Willow's is just like Tampa. Like I had the advantage. You know what I'm saying? No one in Willow's looked like me.
Right.
I was literally the only guy with tattoos.
Right.
And that was black. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I took advantage of that. And it did something for my spirit, man. It got me away from DC, the streets. It was like a fucking vacation. It was like getting on a plane, going somewhere else. But it was literally 15 minutes from my house.
Was that like your first like venue in Virginia that you was like really rocking
Nah,
with?
my first venue in Virginia was Babylon.
Okay.
OG Babylon.
Yeah, I would have figured something more that.
Listen, man,
yeah.
a lot of these spots hold a real big part of my success.
I didn't even realize you used to fuck with Babylon.
Yeah, my relationship
Got you. Okay.
that I was in for 10 years started at Babylon.
Babylon. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got some memories in that motherfucker.
Man, it's memories everywhere now that I sit back and think about it.
Used to whoop people in the little hook joint. What was that? You ever seen that thing? It has a ring on the end of the string, and you have to throw it against.
It's called
the wall,
Tiki Toes.
and you catch it on the. It catches. There's a hook on the wall. There's a ring on a string. You throw the ring against, and whoever gets the ring on the hook.
So it's really a Caribbean game. They play in like, the Caribbeans.
Apparently, this nigga Bilaal is a master at that shit.
Yeah, Willows used to have it on their rooftop, so
Yeah.
it was like my part-time job.
Yeah.
I pull up the Willows and bet people like I'll make 5 out of 10. They don't believe I can do it, and I knock that shit. And I used to bet like 100. I used to leave like $300 a night.
Yo, because they probably thinking, yo, don't know black people play this motherfucking
Man,
game.
so the finesse,
This nigga breaking out Lucille,
the
bro.
finesse of the game was to act like I didn't know how to play.
Right.
So I see them watching, you know, so I'll be missing. And then somebody walk up, they think they can do it, but they can't. So I was like, yo, I bet I can do 5 out of 10. They're like, no fucking way. I was like, what you want to bet? And, you know, no offense, you know, white people are very competitive.
Yeah.
And they don't like to lose.
Especially in their own games.
Right, and especially when the fucking beer is involved. So,
True shit.
you know, I just start knocking the shit down when I step up. I 10 out of 10, 20 out of 20, 30 out of 30, whatever you wanted.
People niggas probably like,
It was crazy because it started with me not knowing how to play at all.
Yeah.
And I got so addicted to the game, I would pull up to Willows during the fucking week and just be up there practicing for the weekend.
Lunch and shit, 3 p.m.
And then I would say within a year, I literally had people pulling up to Willows to watch me play.
That's crazy.
I used to have a Snapchat for the game.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and people used to follow it and everything.
I wish we had a fucking hook in here.
I got that shit in my house.
For real?
Hell yeah.
Nigga, dog, this shit is actually, me and my wife went out on a date, Morgan. We went on a date. We went to, what did they have us? Oh, it was a sushi making class. I'm that married now. I was at sushi making class.
Bro.
Yeah. Thank you. I was at sushi making class with my wife, and they had that shit outside the joint.
Shout out to Morgan.
Shout out to Morgan, man. Shout out to the love of my life, man. I don't just have to say that. It really is. It's the truth. So they had that shit out there, and the only thing I was thinking, I was like, yo, this nigga Bilaal said he used to wreck people. I could just see you just
Holmes.
like a montage, just like a time lapse. It's just whooping
It was not a game, yo.
the who's who of Arlington Bros.
And you know what's crazy? Being in Clarendon around that time,
Yeah.
I would never go past Barbell. But I used to always see Donna just sitting by herself. And it's crazy how God works because, I mean, now look,
Yeah.
Donna's my home. You know what I'm saying?
So from when we worked at Caspi,
Right.
well, that probably was about a year that we worked together strong, right?
Yeah,
so
like
if we
a
both
solid
left
year.
at 2021, yeah, it's probably about a solid year.
It doesn't feel like way longer than
Yeah,
that.
it does. Yo, it felt like 3 years, bro.
Yeah, but it
like
wasn't.
it wasn't. It's probably a year, maybe if that. You end up leaving, and
We all separated.
everybody left at the
like
same
we
time.
were all stuck together like glue at one point in time.
Yeah.
Like only thing we knew was each other.
Right.
And then I think you left first.
I think you left first.
Hell no.
I feel like you left first.
No.
I'm trying to think of when I left.
Bruh, I did not leave first. You left first.
I might have left first.
No, I think B Rose left first.
Well, B Rose definitely left first.
B Rose left
B
first.
Rose definitely left first.
He left first.
Yeah.
Then I think you left.
It was probably me. Yeah, it was probably
And
me.
then B Rose came back.
Right.
And then you tried to come back, but I don't think the situation, whatever.
So I left to go to Dante. So
Oh, yeah, you did it
I gotta
Thursday.
tell this story, bro.
Yeah, you did it
Can I
Thursday.
tell this story?
Go ahead,
I'm gonna tell it. We gotta keep it real. So we worked so hard for about a 6 months, maybe like 4 or 5 month span. So spanning from August to, let's just call it January the next year, right? So January 2020, August 2020
Yeah.
to January 2021. And Caspi at that point was doing numbers that just was not happening before, right?
Right.
Real, legit numbers,
Yeah,
right?
we was fucking shit up.
And you had made such a splash and brought in a different demographic. The point I was trying to make was that you actually helped me connect with my people more.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because my crowd was so mixed. It was black people, white people, Spanish people.
Which nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, but the essence is in our people, and I would connect with the people that would come through the door.
Right.
You know what I mean? As like a face that is of representation, you know, considering that Alif and Badir, you know, Turkish, whatever.
Yeah.
So they had their own crowd. But when it came to those parties popping off, bruh, you were bringing, it was like really like your relentlessness to get the whatever fucking number was going to cross that threshold. And I just see you time after time after time again do that. So the demographic starts changing. And I just remember, bro, I had a Sunday night and it was fucking my first Sunday night that was like,
I remember that shit.
Hopping. And I was dressed to the nine. I'm walking the floor. Morgan's sitting there taking shots. You in that joint. It was like there were nights that it was like we looking around each other like, damn, bro, we actually really fucking doing this shit.
For
this
real.
nigga's over in the corner doing what God knows what.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Any given place. And I remember I was summoned and I was told like, hey, great party. We're going to have a meeting tomorrow. Right? Remember, we was all supposed to have a meeting. Everybody who was doing promotion was all meeting the next day.
Did we meet?
Yeah, we met.
Okay.
So earlier in the day, I'm calling you, and you like, no, you called me. So after he said that to me, I was like, this can't be no good.
No.
Like, this can't be no good. Like, I've been through certain situations already. But when you called me the next day, you like, nigga, what you wearing, bro? I'm about to get this, that, and yo, bro, they about to celebrate us tonight. And I'm like, Bilaal, you sure about that? I think we about to lose our jobs or something.
Yeah.
Bro, we go in that joint, and they're like, man, the parties are great. Everything's going well. We love all this is going on. We're going to take a couple weeks off and not do the parties for a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that bullshit.
Right. So from that point, and that's all like, we worked it out like on a business level. In business, there's going to be times where it just does not go your way.
Yeah, I mean, when you're so new to the game, like, you know, you don't really realize finesse until you have experience.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right. But you gotta almost get finessed a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You gotta go through all that shit, man.
So I remember, like, after that point, that is when I first like hit Scott Parker up, who I had been working for and with previously, like 3-4 years previously. So it was really like a shot in the dark. And I was like, hey, like, I kind of have a product. Are you guys down to work? And he said yes immediately. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, because the resume was there, bro. I mean, every Virginia club was watching, probably not Darna, because Darna was successful in their own way. But every club in Virginia was probably watching Caspi just explode.
I think that my pitch, and I can just say it right here, was the fact that we had figured out the true value that happened was figuring out how to make money under those regulations. And Caspi, more than anybody, figured that shit out.
Man, so many clubs got shut down in pandemic every night, bro. I don't think we ever got shut down. Never, bro. If for one reason or the other, it would be like they would come to that joint, and we would pass. Right?
We would pass. Remember they come in 3 deep,
they'll come in,
leave with smiles on their faces.
Man, we'll treat them with care,
bro. When I would go to Don Tito. Them same dudes coming in there. I'm like, hey man, nice to meet you. Like, get the fuck out of the way.
Can you believe that we lived in a time where we couldn't even sit next to a motherfucker? Bro. 5 people couldn't even sit at a table.
At least not in front of those niggas.
Yeah. I mean,
but for real though,
dead ass, like,
that's why I'm like, a pandemic promoter actually is like the top tier of promotion.
Nah, for real. Like, now that you sit in here and think about it, like, we really was up against a lot of shit.
A lot.
Like, they were literally holding our hand while we were trying to promote. And they were holding us back, but we didn't allow that shit.
We would have to like space out the tables, and then like you couldn't smoke hookah.
You couldn't have more than 5 people at a fucking table.
Right,
and shit.
Crazy shit like
we
that.
Closed at
half the tables.
We closed at 12.
Yeah,
like, to make the money that we made with a little bit of opportunity was fucking mind blowing, bro.
It does, yo, dog. It's like lightning in a fucking glass bottle. That's what you brought to the table.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I had left, but I came back. I wrote that out until I finally left to go work at Bar Taco. So I think you had left sometime. I just remember
I left September of 2021.
So I left in my last day, because remember I had my birthday party in September 2021.
Yeah.
My last day was sometime in October. So I might have left just a little bit after you. But that's when because I went out to Clarendon literally on some shot in the dark shit. But I was already thinking about Don Tito, like, yo, if we just lounge this second floor up a little bit, bro, the possibilities are endless, right? Now you remember how they pushed back on me so much on that. Like it was not. We
Yeah.
couldn't have hookah over there.
Nah,
they tried to
yeah.
space it out all crazy. If you go into Don Tito right now, dog,
On Sunday.
it's a fucking lounge.
It's a zoo.
It's a fucking
It's a zoo.
lounge.
I saw
bro.
this shit. This shit is crazy.
Yo, they what's it called? They remodeled that joint to be a lounge.
Nah, for real.
I'm like, bro, we would have been lit.
They took your recipe and created a monster.
Dog, because what the recipe really was just looking at the like shit changed in the pandemic.
Yeah, it
People cared less about. Everybody wanted to pop their bottles. Everybody wanted to listen to the music that they wanted to listen to, and everybody wanted to smoke hookah.
Yeah.
And it was like the dive bar shit was dead.
Yeah.
It was dead when I got there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, it all worked out though. You know, it was a lot more successful than what I could have even imagined.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you went out to Darna, when you first announced it, I was like,
Bruh.
it's about to get.
Listen.
What was that like?
Now, let me go back a few. So I remember when pandemic was about to be over, and I reached out to my homeboy Nate at Rose Bar. And I'm like, yo, y'all hiring? I'm trying to work at Rose. And my boy Nate like, man, we ain't got the space or the opportunity right now. You know what I'm saying? And that was just me feeling myself. I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I got Caspi lit. I'm that nigga. But nah, he actually did me a favor because I wasn't ready.
For Rose
For
Bar?
Rose Bar? Hell no, because that's the
that's
the holy grail.
That's
yeah,
the
that's
pinnacle.
After that, what do you do?
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready, and it showed because I went to Darna on a Monday, and for the first 4 months of my parties in Darna, like 6 to maybe the most people that come out was like 20 people. Add in their crowd that come out on Monday, so maybe like 30, 40 people, which is nothing in a Darna fucking venue.
Right.
You know, maybe at Caspi 40 people is good, but not at Darna.
On a Monday though, like
So I remember I reached out to my homegirl Jules. And I'm like, yo, I'm really trying to leave Caspi. Like, what's up? She's like, oh, come to Darna, I got you. I'm like, we can do a Monday. I'm like, no. I'm not setting myself up. Like, I'm making good money working 3 days over here. I'm just not about to do no Monday. She like, nah, listen, you got the potential. I got the resources. Let's do it. I said, fuck it. And I took a leap of faith, bro. I left from working Caspi 3 days to just working 1 day out of the week. And I never thought in a million years that the payout would be either equal or better. And I was like, fuck it, let's just try it. And shout out to Jules because she actually saw the vision before I did. And it's normally the other way around. It's normally me like, hey, Jules, let's do a Monday.
Right.
That's me just hopping out there. But nah, she saw it. And she put me on. And the rest was fucking history.
What was the key to making shit pop on a Monday? Because what he's referring to is the fact that Monday is just traditionally not a good party
because
night.
I mean, you start partying on Thursday.
Yeah.
You get lit on Friday. You try to do it again Saturday, and then you eat and you sleep for work on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then who the fuck goes out on a Monday?
Right. And in Arlington, everybody's actually out on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's like it even dwindles your crowd even more.
There was no real recipe to how we had Monday popping. It was just timing. Rose Bar shut down for renovations in January of 2022. And, you know, that crowd was just looking for somewhere to go. And luckily, I started October of 2021, so I had those couple of months to really keep building the party. And then by January, we started seeing a little litness come through. We was like, okay. And then February,
dog. Yo, there was a
done,
week,
dog.
Yo, my nigga. Because remember, I told you, we went in October and November. Whenever you first started, we went to one of those first ones, right?
Cold nights.
Yeah, it was cold in that shit. But it might have been about 35 to 40 people. My man is modest here. That's the, you know what I mean? But yo, dog, I remember working at Bar Taco, being a fucking homebody, and just night by night, I'm looking at your shit, and all of a sudden, Darna is a zoo on Mondays, and you got celebrities in that joint.
Nigga.
Yo, bro.
Listen, I can never take anything away from Darna, man. They have like I give them all respect from payments. Never had an issue with that. You can say what you want about Darna, bro, but one thing about those guys over there, they about their business.
You work with Johnny or Ahmed?
Johnny, Ahmad, Mo, Jay, all them dudes, man. Shout out to them for sure. we all just came together and we just saw where it was going. And, you know, my checkbook runs deep. So he's like, yo, whatever you need, let's get it done. And I had the resources and the connections, and we made that shit happen, dog. And I don't give myself enough credit for that shit, but I had myself.
Yo, bro, dog, it was looking like a fucking movie in that.
Nah, that shit was crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was looking like a fucking movie.
I go back on my stories and look at that shit. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
How many people can fit in that junk?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
It didn't even matter. We supposed to close at 2. Every time I look at my phone, it's almost 4 o'clock. Like,
oh, so it was giving
we
you,
really
they gave you the
pushed
green
that.
light.
I mean, more bottles, more money.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it was not a game, bro.
You have to kind of be like ruthless a little bit when it comes to that. Not like
yeah.
you just gotta be able to know when to like. Some people would say like keeping your shit open past a certain time is like, you got you to be very anal about it for the reasons that are understandable.
For sure.
But the savages, dog, the ones that are really doing it, bro, they're gonna keep that party going until the party stops.
Nah, because the money makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, shit, we was making so much money, a little fine wasn't doing
And
nothing.
they had to trust your mind too.
Yeah, and the best thing about the parties I was throwing, bro, I haven't had one altercation with the police. There was no interaction. There was no shootings. There was no fightings. I've never witnessed that with my name being involved.
I'm so glad you said that because that's like one of the most important things that you actually brought to the table. Yeah. Not only did you bring in a huge crowd of people on any given night, it was a controlled party. And as a promoter, bro, that is like everything. If you can bring in the people, you can keep it controlled. You can promote it online. You can market it, dog.
But you gotta understand,
and you're talking, walking around and talking to people as well.
And what you up against, yo, like I got people traveling from the city all the way to Virginia to get fucked up to drive back to the city, and everyone know VA is not the place to play with, bro. You do not play with VA, bro.
Why is it that DC people think that about the?
That's been an ongoing thing before I was even born, bro.
Legacy, bro.
Like you just don't, you just don't fuck with Virginia. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I respect it though. I would rather that than like, yeah, go out Virginia, they solve.
Right.
Like everybody know, I'm not going out Virginia.
I would stay my ass right here. That's why I also felt like Caspi, just to go back to that, that was partially one of the reasons why we worked out in the middle of the pandemic was because South Arlington it's not quite Clarendon.
Yeah.
So Clarendon before the pandemic was the destination spot. So people would drive right past fucking South Arlington. If they was going to go into Virginia, they would go there, right? Even though these places out here on the outskirts are a little bit closer in proximity, you don't have to worry about as much when you really think about it. So I feel like we really benefited off of that. But bringing your style, putting your flavor on the nightlife industry in Arlington at Darna. Did you ever run into like you said the cops didn't come? Was there any contentious moments between you and the Arlington Knights though, like the Arlington Bros, the Clarendon Karens?
Nah. Man, listen, man, we didn't have one issue at all, bro. To the point we didn't even need security. We had it, but I would say, my crowd, everyone already know each other, so it kind of eliminates the issue of like, and there's nothing to be territorial about either.
Do you feel like I always used to think like even though you knew everybody, right, and everybody knew each other, there was an underlying tone of respect. They respected you as well.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
That plays a big part.
That's like one of your principles. That's something that you instilled in me in those times where, like I said, we have a lot of good times, but there was times where it wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't.
And we be talking to each other on the phone, and you give me that advice, and you just talking about respect. Yeah. Respect goes a long way. You know how to respect another person, whether you're selling them a bottle, whether you're selling them a drink, or whether you're selling them some water. Yeah. You got to treat them the exact same way, and respect it garners respect, demands respect. Absolutely. So if they get out of line with you, you already know what how to treat it. You get what I'm saying? So I always respected that and kind of took that philosophy into my own life.
I mean, we learned a lot from each other. Like we were rookies, like coming into the league. Well, I felt like one. I knew I was one. I don't know about you, but I was a rookie at Caspi, man. I really didn't take it serious. You know, I had other shit going on, as you can see on my ankle. And I just was there for the fun of it. I didn't really care about the money. But when I stopped doing the bullshit that I was doing, I said, you know what? Let me go to nightlife because, for one, it's legit. And two, the money kind of equals out at the end of the day. Like, it's a little bit more work, but it's like, at least it's safe and it's easier.
If you're willing to put that work in, bro, you can make a lot of fucking money.
Man, it's a lot of money in nightlife,
so much money in nightlife.
Especially, not to cut you off, especially when you're doing it. I'm never going to say I did it by myself because I had help from all over. Even the littlest help is enough to get to where I am.
Right.
So, there's a lot of money, man. Like, if you look at my situation, and you know what's funny? A lot of people reach out to me about Dawn on Monday. They're like, how many promoters on this party? Oh, nigga, it's just me.
Oh, that's
it's
the
just
beauty
me.
That's why I was so. That's what made me so happy and proud is because, like I'm not knocking promotion groups are very necessary.
Nah, for real.
You know, are very necessary.
I mean, I started one eventually.
Right.
I started grabbing people. I actually reached out to females more. I already had my my homeboys, of course. Like B Rose, you know what I'm saying? My man Cook. I had Marcus, my boy Kenny. I had everybody with me and my boy G who locked up right now. I had everybody, that was like my entourage. And then I was like, we need some girls. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I started reaching out. I reached out to my homegirl Morgan. She used to work at Donna.
Okay.
And she didn't work it anymore. And I'm like, yo, you trying to promote with B World? She like, what I gotta do? I said, all you gotta do is just look good. Yeah. Sit there and look good. I'm not asking you to do anything. She's like, bet. I reached out to my homegirl Brooke, my homegirl Bree, and we just made that shit work. And we was just we was just unstoppable, bro. And it's funny how life works. So the opportunity for Rosebar came back around. Right. And I got the same fucking message from Nate that I sent to him. But he sent it to me. Yeah. And he was like, yo, I know you reached out to me a minute ago about working at Rose. You still down? Hell yeah. What? Fuck yeah. So I took the opportunity, and once I hit that pinnacle at Rose, bro, it was just like,
you probably got some fucking crazy story at Rose Bar, man.
Yeah.
Some crazy story.
I got some crazy story.
Oh my gosh. Yo, Rose Bar is like, yeah, you doing that. Like you said, like we already talked about, that's the pinnacle. Also, I know in talking to you in the early days, that was actually always your goal, right? So you actually, from where we started in the middle of the pandemic, weren't even thinking about promoting at Caspi. Just throw your birthday at Caspi. Turns out you're a hell of a promoter. You start promoting at Caspi. That goes where it goes. It's up.
And it's still going. Shout out to Baldhead.
That's the best. Yo,
shout out to Baldhead, bro.
That's the most beautiful shit in the world.
But
bro.
I saw the potential in Baldhead before he probably even saw it in himself. Like, you know, Baldhead was like, he was going through a rough time at that particular moment before he started. And I'm like, bro, just stay focused. Like, right. One day, all this shit gonna be yours. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I was ready to leave, I said, Ballhead, the opportunity has came. You ready? He straight like, up. Man, give me that shit. And I gave it to him, and he has not let up.
Dog. Yeah,
proud of that nigga,
still,
dog.
Yo, bro, he's still rocking that
still
shit,
rocking.
Dog.
Still rocking. And I don't blame him, bro.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I don't blame him.
Fuck, you know, I think it's amazing to see.
Yeah.
Because when you think about the story that we told, it's like the fact that it's still, like, now it has its own, now Baldhead has brought a whole new energy to it. But the vibe is still
Caspi.
It's still Caspi.
Every time I go in there, it's still Caspi.
Bro, it's incredible to see. So you go from there, and then you leave Caspi, go to Donna, rock that shit, all the way to a spot at Rose Bar. Yep. What was that situation like? Like, I know you got the call, what have you, but you know, was it instant lightning in a bottle like Caspi, or did you know, considering that your crowd was already out there, or was there a grinding process?
Signing with Rose Bar was a little different because I wasn't just working at Rose Bar. I was working under a promotion group. I signed with Unique Society, which is my family, of course.
Shout out to Unique Society.
So I didn't have to do as much work that I had to do at Donna. I'm pretty much just tagging along with whatever they got going on. Yeah. And I'm just promoting. But I saw an opportunity at Rose Bar that everybody else wasn't too pleased to try, and that was the cabin.
World's Cabin.
Cabin.
World's Cabin.
And they didn't ask me to promote the cabin at all.
Yeah.
But I know that they remodeled the cabin. That was the whole reason they was down for a couple months. So I hit Nate. I'm like, yo, what's up with the cabin?
Yeah.
Like, the deck is cool and all, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think, like, who gonna run the cabin? He was like, you want it? I said, can I put B-World on it? He was like, you can do whatever you want.
See.
I said, man, fuck that. Give me that. You know what I'm saying? And when I was telling people I was working at Rose, everybody was under the impression that I was on the deck. Right. Everybody wanted me on the deck.
So the legend of Rose Bar really is like the deck.
Yeah.
And like everybody wanted to be out on the deck. I had my birthday party, 28th birthday party.
I mean, I don't blame them.
Everybody the deck. But you took a risk because on the inside is the cabin, right?
Yeah.
And for the longest time, people try to almost play the cabin, right?
Yes.
As if it's nothing.
It's not easy.
How did you do it?
I mean, the way they remodeled this shit was just, I was like, I can work with this.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind taking the back because I still had Dawn on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was my time to shine. I didn't really care about being on the deck. Like, I didn't really give a fuck about that shit. I like the fact that the cabin, my table in the cabin was in the cut. When you walk up them steps, you don't even see me.
Right.
It's like if you know, you know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I get to see everything that goes on.
Yeah.
A lot of motherfuckers don't even see me.
Yeah.
And it was enough space to have like at least 10 to 12 people in that motherfucker. And then they gave me the best deal. They gave me 2 comp bottles.
Oh, you was loving it. Yeah.
And like, it was a time, man.
Yeah.
That cabin was a time.
Yeah,
but
we got the shit rocking.
it was hard though because
Yeah.
I'm on Friday and Saturday. I'm up against Saint Abigail, the deck.
See.
Like I'm up against so much shit. So it didn't go as planned, but it was definitely worth the try.
When you worked in DC, is that when you realized that you were a promoter, and not just
I don't even think it still hit me. I know what? I ain't gonna lie. I think it hit me when I got locked up. When I was down for 3 months and I was actually had time to really sit and think, because when I was out nonstop, there was no time to fucking sleep or even think.
Yeah.
But when I got locked up, sitting in that cell for 23 hours in a day, I'm like, damn. I was just at Ep.8 2 years ago.
Right.
I went from Ep.8 to Caspi to Donna to Rose Bar. And then before I got locked up, I did Sax on Wednesday with 8-1. Shout out to 8-1.
Yeah, shout out to them too.
They gave me that
Oh,
opportunity.
you was doing Sax too.
Yeah, I did Sax Wednesday.
You're really good at your fucking reels, bro. Your trailers and shit. I
Shout out
remember
to Marcus.
Yo, dog.
I'll come up with the idea and Marcus would bring that shit to
They're
life.
fucking pristine. They look so good. That's how I remember. I'm like, yeah, this nigga was doing. I remember you had the hookah.
I think what got me to this point is the promotion. My content is unlike no other at the time because I'm still new. So I'm the one that's really pressed to look a certain type of way. And a lot of these promoters has been in the game for like 10 years. They don't give a fuck. They like, put that fly up.
right.
But with
it's
me,
whatever fly, the same fucking girl.
But me, I'm like, nah, fuck that. Like, I'm too new in this and like everything matters.
Yeah, we used to work on the flyers before.
Man,
Yeah,
get
we
the fuck out of here. Man, this dude used to make our flyers, man. I was like, this nigga's up. But you was good at it, though.
That's the thing. So, like, if anything, like, there was a certain point in the industry where I was like, man, my creative, like, I have to stay creative in order for it all to work. And when you're now in a committed relationship, whereas before I was single, you actually have to find different motivations, if you feel what I'm saying out there. It's just true. You know what I mean? So being creative was actually my motivation. So anytime you was like, yo, hit me, I want to name the party this, and I want the purple fucking clouds and green clouds, and I want an orange snake, and I'm like, all right, great, yeah, cool, I do it, fuck it, yeah, I ain't doing nothing.
You used to bring the ideas to life.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. Like, them joints was definitely sweet.
But I appreciate that, bro. But I think we always had like a common respect for each other's creativity.
Yeah, for sure.
That it just made a lot. So everything that we made work makes sense in the grand scheme.
Yeah.
Because you was creative, I was creative. I might bounce some ideas off you. You would hit me with an idea, and then boom, the product would happen. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bilaal was actually the first person that gave me a time to shine on the DJ controller.
For one, he's not a DJ.
Yo, I'm the DJ.
He's not a DJ. He was a reserve.
I got caught up from India. I wasn't reserved that night. I'm not gonna lie, but I would always be on the controller.
So he really actually did his thing. Like, I don't think no one realized that a real DJ was not.
But this is what I'm saying though. I'm a DJ though.
Yeah.
But I didn't know until you was in, bro. we sitting there. I used to play on this controller all the time. So like if it was a slow fucking day during the day and we got like 3 guests, I would get up there and fuck around. A lot of times they were playing a mix, so if there was no DJ, that shit would stop. So somebody had to get up there. You know, all those nights where maybe the DJ didn't show up, I would like go up there and act like I would know something.
Right.
And then
I think I had one of the biggest parties in my time, and I don't know if it was. I don't think B Rose could make it.
it was something like B Rose was already booked or something. He was trying to make it. It was something. Like that.
So pretty much we didn't have a DJ. We had a playlist.
Yeah.
And we let the playlist ride as long as we possibly could till they realized we were playing the playlist.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, Zoe. It's your chance.
That's exactly what happened.
And when I tell you, man, you took that party from head to head.
Bro, shit was crazy.
That shit was crazy,
Nigga,
bro.
I got COVID the next day and didn't give a shit.
It's like...
Because, he's like... This party was a private party. A private party of about, let's just say 105 people showed up to Caspi that night.
Yeah.
And it's completely packed out. It's a 90s party though. So my ears was already ringing from the beginning, but like, you don't really know, you get what I'm saying? Until you actually know, like Bilaal was just like, got off the phone with whoever he's talking to, he said, "So you going up there, bro."
Yeah.
And from there, that was all I needed to just even have the confidence to start being like, yo, I know music. I can do this.
Yeah,
and
you did
their
it.
reactions, like
Nah, you did it.
everybody.
It was crazy.
Yo, that shit
was crazy.
fire.
And you know what's wild? When you hear 90s party, you think about all the old oldie but goodies type 90s. But you kind of brought in the 2000s as well. Like you were hitting like fucking Lil Flip, Real Thug, Get Down on the Floor. Like it was shit
BM Jr. I remember when I played BMJR by Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
That's when the whole shit.
Like it was shit that I'm like, what made you think of this shit?
Bro, I was dog. Here's the truth. So for the longest time in my life, I only would listen to the music I wanted to listen to. So growing up, in high school, nigga, I was just a Cam fan. I was listening to the Dipset all day
I was
long.
a part of Dipset.
Me too.
I think we all were.
Yo, so I would be listening to them all the time. So when I got out of school, I would still stay listening to just like the songs that I like. I would not give new songs any burn. And what happened was, I'm in Winchester, so I'm out there kind of laying the seeds for where we are right now because we would throw these parties. And we would throw parties in Winchester. First it started off hotel parties. Then party buses to... what was that place called? Eden.
Okay.
To Eden.
Damn.
And then, now I'm like 25 or so.
Yeah.
I look at my man Bobby, and I was like, yo, it's going down at Stadium Club in D.C. And this is prime stadium. This is Migos and Drake stadium time, right? So I just wanted to have my birthday out there. Bro, me and Bobby get in the car, drive all the way to fucking stadium in the day. This is probably 2012 or 2013.
You gotta bring stadium back, man.
Oh, bruh, people don't even realize. But when we got the section, we had already started the party bus process. But the only thing that wasn't going to rock was the playlist I was trying to make. It was all these old 90s joints. It was all these old rap songs. I think I may have like played it for a girl, and like before we ever got on the bus, and she was like, "What the fuck is this? Turn this shit off." It's like B.I.G., Tracy Lee, it's like Camp Low and shit. I was listening to anything that I wanted to.
Yeah.
Bro, I had to start getting more into today.
Yeah.
In order to make the girls happy on this bus. Then I just started discovering, I'm like, yo, this shit is actually absolutely incredible. You get what I'm saying? But once you hear it in the club,
it's a completely different song.
Right. So I already had this background of like just listening to whatever I wanted to listen to forever, making music while I was just still not really tapped into the current. So when I got into the club, when I went to stadium that night, it fucking changed my life. But then when we're in Caspi every day, you get to hear how the records really connect with people. So the ear was just being slowly refined as we went.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So when you said go,
you went.
I just fucking went.
And we couldn't get you off that one.
Yo, I got the party going, bro. I woke up the next day, pockets full of money and a sore throat. Had COVID. I got to sit out for another week. I was good, bro. You couldn't tell me shit. But I always want to say thank you for that, bro. I always want to say thank you for that. Because without it, bro, we don't get here. like you said, it's people believing in other people, even when it's not necessarily anything that you intended on, but like having that moment really meant a lot to me for real on a personal level.
I saw.
Yeah. Did you so not to switch gears because you did like touch on you going in for 3 months and your situation with the monitor, the ankle monitor. So let's just say when did you have like before you even get it, if whatever you can talk about, did you have like heads up? So like, was it like you're promoting, and then boom?
Oh, as far as the situation?
Yeah, because we gotta like around that time was literally I had proposed to Morgan maybe 2 or 3 weeks before all that happened. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, my life is just a whirlwind, bro. We had our wedding literally a year after I proposed, so it was like from the moment I proposed, boom, 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 thing, and then I just like stopped seeing your post. That's really what happened. Yeah. Like, I wonder if Bilaal's all right. So yeah.
Keep the story short. I had no idea it was coming. I was completely unaware that it was coming. I mean, of course, I know what I was into in my past, but I walked away from that shit, and did nightlife. So, that's why it's like you always think you got away with something, but you really don't know if you did or not.
Right.
Just because the consequences didn't come around yet.
Right.
But it was a fucking man. The shit was so fucking wild, bro. Because I got locked up on a Tuesday, and this is the funniest shit. It's not funny, but it's like, god damn. I was about to start an R&B party at Victory.
Oh shit!
That was the day of the party that I got locked up. Oh, so I started the party and I never showed up to my party. So everybody's looking for me like, where the fuck is this nigga at? Like you made me come here, like,
right.
And I'm promoting it heavy too. So it's like I had no idea, yo.
Man,
that shit was crazy.
Man,
that shit was crazy, dog. But I did get a phone call. I was at my homegirl's house when I got the phone call, and something just told me. I got a phone call that one of my friends got locked up. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But I know my friend at the time, he was into a lot of other shit. So I'm like, okay, it might not have nothing to do with me.
Right.
What they locked me up for from 3-4 years ago. So something just told me go home. And I went home. And what's funny, I was going to catch an Uber to my house. But I said, you know what, let me get on the train.
Yeah.
Because if I get on the train, I can walk and I can analyze shit as I'm walking to see shit from a distance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I get on the train, I hop off the train, and I'm walking to my building, and shit just looks weird as fuck. And we not talking about, this is not the police. This is the FBI we're talking about.
Right.
And I'm like, and I know how they coming. We all know.
Yeah.
If you watch enough fucking movies, you know that they coming. If they coming, they coming.
Right.
So I'm just walking. I'm like, young, that block don't look right, young. My block just does not look right.
You're looking at your own house, your block.
Well, my apartment building.
Yeah, okay.
And it's on Capitol Hill, so it's always foot traffic. It's always a lot of shit going on, but my street sense just told me, like, right. Don't walk into that building. So what I did was I sat on my neighbor's porch, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit right here, and if they come to get me, come get me. If y'all see me, come get me. Nothing happened. But I see weird shit.
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing people that just don't belong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. So I sat right there for like 10 minutes. And I see weird cars too that normally doesn't park on my block. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to walk to the CVS and go inside. And if I come out, they should be here. Go in the CVS, buy some chips. Come outside, nobody. So I said, all right, well, I'm going to walk to the Safeway. All this shit is like 2 blocks apart from each other. So I said, let me walk to the Safeway. So I walked to the Safeway, and I'm just, I'm paranoid. I'm looking back. I don't see shit. I'm like, maybe I'm just overthinking. Like, get to the Safeway. So the girl I was dating at the time, I hit her up. I said, yo, call me an Uber from your phone. I'm not going to call it from mine. You call me an Uber to my mom's. Let me go to my mother's house.
Yeah.
Like, all right, bet. She called me an Uber. I get to my mother's house. Coast is clear. And mind you, my mother's address is the public record. Like, it's connected to me. So if they looking for me, they're going to come to my mother's house too. So I get to my mom's house, and they not there either. So I'm like, all right. And I walk in my mom's house. Ain't nobody come looking for me because nobody's there. And they ain't kick no door in or none of that shit. So I'm like, all right, coast is clear. So I'm just sitting there in the window like a fucking dog waiting for his owner to come home. Because I'm just sitting there like,
just looking out the window.
just like,
Malcolm X.
you know, I'm just like, all right.
Peeking out the window.
Look, yo, I'm sitting there for like at least an hour. Every car I'm just looking in the car. I'm like, all right, I'm tripping. Now I'm tripping.
Right.
So I get on my phone. I say, you know what? Let me book an Uber to Caspi. I'm just going to chill in Virginia. I'm just going to go chill in Virginia.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this DC shit. So I booked the Uber. Uber 6 minutes away. So I heard the door open. My mom coming in. She like, anybody here? I'm like, yeah, I'm here. She like, what you about to do? I said, I'm about to go to Virginia. I'll be back. She's like, all right, cool. She's walking up the steps. I'm walking down the steps. She like, do you mind grabbing my bags off the car? I said, cool. I grab the bags. I bring them in the house. I get the notification that the Uber's outside. So I said, all right, I'm gone. I close the door. I'm talking about, bro, as soon as I touch the Uber car door, the handle, I look up, it's like a hill on Southeast where I'm at. 6 cars at the stop sign lined up, bro, like the president coming down the street, bro. And they just blitzed the shit out of me, bro.
Man,
I couldn't even get into the Uber.
Yeah, right.
They literally hopped out of the car while the shit was still moving.
Holy shit.
I was like, oh, this shit is real.
Oh, my, yeah.
This shit is real.
Bro, right in front of your mom's house, too.
She ain't see the shit, though.
She's probably, like, still putting her shit up in the...
Yeah.
Just, like, putting the groceries away.
She didn't even see this shit. Man. Because as I'm getting locked up, I'm like, yo, can y'all put me on the other side of the van? Like, I don't want my mother to see this shit. And they was cool enough to do that shit. And as I'm getting locked up, I'm just looking in the window. She would have came out. Mm-hmm. You know, my mother would have came out. Like, what the fuck going on? But nah, she ain't come out. And
what do you feel in that moment?
What the fuck?
Right, I guess that's a dumb question.
I'm supposed to be at this party tonight.
You're like, man, fuck, victory. So, I want to tread, you know what I mean, like a line with the conversation. So
we could talk about what really went down on the next episode.
And I'm cool, you know, to do that as well. Can I ask what you feel like your outlook is on your situation? Like, you know, when you just in terms of how you. First off, how do you keep composed every day and keep your mind 100%? Like, you know, I'm sure that there's been, you know, times where it's easier than others. But also, like,
in all honesty about the situation, as fucked up as it was, I know that's where I belong. Because it's a part of the journey. It's a part of the testimony. It's a part of, you know, life. And I didn't really look at it as a negative as much as everyone else did. You know, a lot of people probably like, oh, yeah, he's done. And I know you probably heard that, too. And a lot of people probably was like...
what I heard was people emphasizing that it was the FBI.
Right.
You know what I mean? And most times without even knowing any details, that is what people think. So people were expressing that, not necessarily being like, he's cooked, but like, it's the FBI.
No, and then, you know, the FBI have a way of putting shit out there to make the shit 10 times worse than what the fuck it actually is.
Well, right.
You know
so
what I'm saying?
the only thing
if you would have read, I didn't even read it because I'm a big...
That's the only thing that was there.
I protect my peace as much as I possibly can. And, like, I never even saw the article. I damn near didn't even read the indictment. Because I don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
You can't tell me what went down. Y'all don't fucking know for real.
Right.
So, with that being said, I didn't really take the shit as a negative. Like, I know a lot of people probably read this shit and was like, oh, yeah, he ain't coming back out. That was everybody's probably mindset. But, you know, they don't know me.
Well, that's your dog. Nigga, I told you on the phone the other day, like, when I'm sitting there trying to gather the information that I could, and everybody's saying that, literally in my mind, I'm like,
no.
Oh, they just don't know who they're dealing with.
They don't.
They actually, like, you know, so if there was anybody, like,
nah, for real.
Like, if there was anybody.
Look.
Yeah.
Once I found the loophole, I said, oh, I'm gone.
I don't know if you want to.
No, we get into the next one.
So,
but what's crazy to finish that situation up, I had no record before this shit even occurred. This is my first time ever being locked up. And of course, my first time being locked up will be with the FBI, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But it's good, though, because, you know, I had something to play with. Oh, he's never been locked up before. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I'm thinking I'm going to hit bail the first 2 days, like in the first 2 or 3 days.
Right.
Man, we go to court. That motherfucking judge said, nah, I can't let y'all out. Shit too serious. And I'm like, damn. Nobody would have told me I would have spent 90 days in fucking jail.
What did you do to pass the time in there? Besides thinking about the,
You know what's crazy?
all the party.
Man, God is good because he sent me to Alexandria. I didn't go to D.C. Although my case was in D.C., he sent me to Alexandria. You know, because he's not going to give you a battle you can't fight.
Right.
He know D.C. jail just ain't for a nigga like me. Although I probably would have knew the whole general population over there, he just knew I didn't need to be in that environment. So he sent me to Alexandria, where it's cleaner. No jail safe. But it was just a vibe, honestly. And that's crazy to say about jail.
You see how soft they be trying to make Virginia, dog?
Nah, it was
Yo, goes to jail and it's a vibe.
Nah, for real. It was
It's
a vibe. Bro. I can't
even
even,
the jails
I can't
is
lie
soft
to you.
out here. Damn, bro. Virginia can't win for nothing. No, second place.
I know a lot of people that was locked up. And, you know, the shit that you hear about it. You try to envision it and like, damn, I never deal with that shit. You know, they always got pictures of what they eat and all that shit. But I was over there eating fucking pancakes on every Tuesday, bro. Like, come on, man. Like,
we always talk, because you know DC niggas like to shame Virginia, especially when it comes to like sports team and shit like that.
Yeah.
This does not do anything but further secure the fact.
It proves the
we
theory,
out here
bro.
serving
It proves the fucking theory. Nah, seriously. But no, it was, but so when I got over there, I was on the holding cell for like 8 days. I don't know why. Then they finally let me up to general population, and they put me on the fourth floor, one of them floors. But the fourth floor was kind of known for like the older people, like so I was around a lot of OGs, and you know I have that mindset and that spirit to adapt to older people. Like you know I'm not a youngin' by far. Like
well, yeah, we're still
by
in the
age
front.
maybe, but you know,
but yeah,
you know what I mean.
I know
So,
exactly what you mean.
I met some good people over there, and when I first got there, I spent a lot of time on the phone.
Right.
I'm still trying to book part, like I'm still trying to do this nightlife shit through the phone. I'm still trying to make flyers and all this shit.
You were still, flyers were still coming out on your page.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I didn't know.
Right.
That's actually why I had no idea.
Right. So with that, I was on the phone a lot.
Yeah.
You know, because I had a good support system outside that made sure I was good. Especially the girl I was dating at the time, she held me down. And I was on the phone a lot. And one day, it just hit me. It was like, yo, I read something. It was like, be where you are. I'm like, what? It just hit me. Be where you are. And I'm like, I need to be here because there's a reason I'm here.
Right.
So I left the phone situation alone for a good little minute, and I just started looking around for once. Like, fuck the phone, because I spent all day on the phone when I first got there, bro. And
do you think that I was like not really trying to process exactly where you were?
Yeah, and I was trying to keep the outside from stressing. You know, like my family, my daughter. I was like just trying to keep them at ease.
Right.
And yeah, so I stopped with the phone, and I just started like meeting people and talking to people. And it got to a point where, no disrespect to Virginia, it got to a point where people were asking me, can they use my phone?
wait. What do you mean they was asking?
Listen, it's 6 phones on the 4th floor. There was only one phone that I used. And when I wasn't using it and somebody else wanted to use it, they'll come to my cell and be like, hey, bro, can I use your phone?
Oh, my goodness, the most polite fucking...
Man, listen, the same way I do anything, I did it in jail.
So it's this exact same type of thing, just respect and meeting and it's networking.
You know, I look different.
Yeah.
I grew a bush and had all this.
For real?
I look crazy.
Oh, man.
But I still was fly to some people, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The way I wore my jumpsuit, I still was fly. And like, you know, I had visitation. I got a job.
Okay.
You know, I gotta find a way.
Yeah,
I gotta find a way. So when I realized that I wasn't going home no time soon, I applied for a job as a unit worker. And I got the job. And with the perks of being a unit worker is that you don't lock down when everyone else do. You can stay out as long as you want. Well, nah, I'm not gonna say that. You gotta go in by 11. But I'm lying. You go in, I can go into my cell like 3 a.m. Everybody else locked down at 11.
Okay.
So I took that opportunity. That's more phone time. And I just made a way.
That's awesome.
And then I got good news from my lawyer. I got a court date to try to go home. That was December 22nd. And if I just knew it was time for me to go because 12, 2, 2, the numbers was just crazy. 12, 22, 22. I'm like, it has to be the day.
Yeah.
And
is it? Okay.
And I was like, what's crazy to the last thing to say about this situation, the night before I was released, I had endless commissary. I had 4 fucking mattresses.
Yeah.
You only supposed to have one. I had 4 of them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like I really had a little studio.
Right.
But the night before I went to court to try to be released, I gave away everything. I gave away my mattresses. I gave away my covers, my pillows, my food, my lotion, every fucking thing that I own. I gave it away.
Before you even knew that you were leaving?
Before I even knew.
Oh, wow.
And it was a fight to get me home, but luckily I got the judge that I had, and he let me go. But God forbid if I didn't go home and I gave away all my shit.
You'd have been hungry.
But
you'd have been sleeping on the
But that's
the
just
springs.
me manifesting like, yo, I'm going home, yo.
You do that, though.
Yeah,
you
I do that
manifest.
shit with everything.
You, like, when you believe in it, you're going, and it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro, I gave away every fucking thing. And for someone who's locked up, know what the fuck that means. Like, and then commissary was coming around for another week, so.
Yeah, you've been, man, that's incredible.
But
so you ended up getting, going home that day?
Yeah, the 22nd I went home.
What was that day like for you?
It didn't even hit me. And you know what's crazy? It was like 60 degrees in December, the day I went home. Man, I had she was a therapist over there.
Okay.
She was cool. She found out I was going home. She even got me a cab and all that shit.
Nice. Nice, man.
VA, man.
VA, brother. Alexandria, bro.
VA. I'm talking about DC. Let you through them gates and like, nigga, get the fuck on. Like, nah, man. That shorty got me a motherfucking cab. She walked me to the cab. She gave me a hug. That was my first hug in like 90 days. That motherfucker.
Yo,
I ain't even want to let her go.
See, Virginia, bro. Virginia.
Nah, man. Nah, for real.
Straight up.
And now when I pass, like, it's funny, man, how life works because when I was locked up, I used to look out that window and watch them cars go down the highway. I'd be like, man, that's going to be me one day. That's going to be me one day. Mm-hmm. And now I'm them cars going down the highway looking up in that prison, and I'm just like, damn.
Yeah, hope it ain't me one day.
Nah, hope it ain't me.
You know what I mean?
Nah,
so we praying for you, brother. You know what I mean? I know you can't talk too much about
We'll talk about it,
but the next time, we're going to go. So here we are putting it into the air.
Yeah, we're going to get
the
deep.
next time, because we are going to have a next time, you know, we can definitely talk more about it. And whenever, you know, you want, I'm down to do that. Yeah. I just want to fire off some questions real quick, though. Mm-hmm. This is we'll do like a speed round. So I say a name, you say the first thing that comes to mind. Are you down to do that?
Good.
All right, bet. All right. So this is actually going to be the first time we do this because you kind of gave me.
Why I gotta be the first?
Well, you know, this shit gotta go fucking viral, man.
All right.
You know what they wanted to talk about.
So, what kind of names are we referring to?
I say a name.
Any name?
I say a name. You just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
All right. Can we get a practice round?
Yeah, sure.
That's the point.
Reds.
Blue. Good try, motherfucker.
I'm fucking around, bro. I'm fucking around, dog. No, so I just wanted to say that I appreciate you. I'm not really doing a speed round. I was
that was good. I was ready. Bro.
Yo, dog, if we really wanted to, we have to put that behind a paywall. That can't be for free on YouTube. We'd have to put that on Patreon or something. We could do it. We could do it. We could actually do that after we wrap up here. I did want to say that I really appreciate, you know, just our genuine like friendship. Yeah. And you know, like I already mentioned, dog, we rooting for you, bro. Mm-hmm. I already know that what type of individual you are. So, did you want to talk about real quick how the B World Tampa, you know, what to look forward to? Because you do got the hoodie on. You know, we got the mug right here. You got the hat. You know, do you have anything to announce as far as that, or are we just staying tuned?
Yeah, just coming soon, man. I haven't even figured it out. This is all me manifesting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't fucking know why God wants me to go to Tampa, but I'm pretty sure it's big.
And from what I've seen,
I'm pretty sure it's big. And a lot of people don't know this, bro. I've been to Tampa. You probably don't even know this. 36 times.
Nigga, I believe it. I don't know it. I didn't know that.
Within 2 years.
Yeah.
36.
Is that from the time that you came when we all went?
Since June 6th until now, 36
I'm
times.
telling you, this nigga had tickets to the Super Bowl, all type of shit, knew all type of people. Yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with this person over here.
Nah, for real.
You know what I mean? Like,
but honestly, I mean, working at American Airlines, that played a huge part. Because I was hopping on the plane like it was a fucking bus.
Yeah, you had the flood.
And then, of course, you know me, I'm always finding a way to finesse. I stopped working at American, but my benefits never stopped. My benefits ain't stopped for like another 8 months.
Oh, damn.
So every day I'm just checking the app and this shit still works. I'm booking
I'm
booking them. And then that one salty day.
Oh, man.
That one day that really just made me drop to my knees. That motherfucker did not work anymore, bro. I was like, here we go. Here comes
full price.
Full price. Look, and from the full price time until now, I've probably only been like 4.
Yeah. This nigga is so deep, bro. Yo,
nah, for
he the
real.
flashiest, cheapest
bro.
nigga of all time, bro. Yo, straight up,
real.
dog. Yo, I remember we were sitting there.
I'm humble though.
Almost too humble. It's like it's a modest stun is what I call it. You know what I mean? You stun,
My PL said I got the gift of gab, man.
100%. But that's the reason for everything. You know what I mean? It is truly a gift, and you definitely make it happen no matter what scenario.
Yeah, that's that city shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dog, like I was telling you, when I was working at Mount Vernon, like the Bar Taco in Mount Vernon, I know you do have to go. They would send me out there. First off, I was the person. So one thing that we didn't touch on in the last podcast is that I was the person that did most of the firing. Any Bar Taco that I was at, they know damn well that everybody fucks with me too, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not easy. It's probably harder for me to fire anybody than anybody else because they look at the rest of the managers as squares. Right. They actually like me, but I'm the person that has to fire these niggas for some shit that they did on your shift. You know what I mean? Yeah. So in DC, but yo, I'm just cold with it. You know what I mean? Yo, if that's what it costs for, that's what it costs for. Yeah. So in DC, I knew how to like talk to not only the staff, you know, to try to get the most out of them because they was coming all from the inner city as well. And, you know, and if you don't have if you're coming in with a certain mindset that you're going to manage somebody the way that you want to and not the way that they are actually going to produce, you know, then you're going to run into a lot of problems. These niggas would send me over there to like, yo, bro, first day, dog. Mm-hmm. As soon as we get these boxes in, we get all these boxes in, slowly setting up. They got corporate in there, you know, the little guy on the computer over here typing, doing nothing. And the next day, bro, we come in early in the morning. Somebody dropped a big fucking shit right on the front door, bro.
What?
Shit right on the front door, my nigga. All shit right on the front door, dog. They were like, what?
On the door or by the door?
On the, like, right, so the front door where you walk in, right in front of it.
Okay, all right.
Yo, dog, people who's coming up on the patio, you know, niggas is coming up on the patio smoking. Just we'll be walking down the street, come right on the patio, start smoking, laughing with one another. Who you think is gonna go talk to them?
You.
Me. I'm not gonna go out there and say, yo, because they'll go out there and I don't know, like you end up getting a wedgie, like I said, and get smacked up, come running back inside. I'd be like, yo, guys, unfortunately we can't smoke on the patio, but yo, here's some tokens right here. Come back when we open. Yeah. And you know what I mean? That's how you build the connection with the neighborhood in a lot of ways. So always like kind of following that dog. I would think about you all the time, bro. Because you could have gone up in there and ran the show realistically because you know you can't if you're not building your connection with the people who are actually buttering your bread. They just wanted to come up in DC with the same modern rock playlist that they had. Yeah. I'm like, y'all are crazy, my nigga. Y'all coming from Casper. I'm like, I already know, we gonna get laughed off the block.
I think I saw you one time at that joint.
I don't know if you ever came. I know you came one day. You messaged me and I wasn't there because at that point I had already been.
Nah, I think it was a time where I rode past and I saw you. Wasn't it like an outside?
Maybe, yeah. So I definitely was there for about 2 months before I ended up moving, maybe something like that. Should have came in, man. Got some Baja fish.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Hey, Be well. My man Bilaal Briggs.
You know,
you got anything else you wanted to say? Anything to look out for? Anything?
Part 2 coming soon.
Part 2, bro. Hey, we really got to get into it as well.
Yeah, I got something we should talk about.
Part 2, man. We save it for a rainy day. Save it for a rainy day. Bilaal Briggs, be well. My man. As always, be mindful.
Oh man, y'all 2 minutes away out here?
Yeah, bro. You know it's Virginia, nigga. Yo, they gonna have some. Yo, they gonna have a sandwich for you with the food when he pulls up. You ain't got to tip the nigga.
My motherfucker will be writing like, "Hey yo, walk down the street. I'm not coming on your block."
Yeah, Muhammad gonna pull up right up on you. Yo, who has the best bottle girls in the whole nightlife industry? In the DC area, which venue would you say has your favorite?
What are we asking though? Like,
well, that's what I'm asking.
As far as looks, or like who works the hardest? Like, what are you asking?
It would probably be a combination of both if you're really trying to gauge it, because they cannot. There have been some very rough bottle girls in the history of nightlife, and you know so they cannot be rough around the edges.
Who has the best bottle girls in the city? I don't think I'm credible enough to answer that question, and the reason why I say that because I didn't work with everyone, so it's not really fit.
All right, so based on your...
But...
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I did work at one of the 2 hottest clubs, and that's Donna and Rosewell. And I'm not going to actually pick one over the other.
You should do that. The Darna dolls or the Rose Bar babes. What are they called?
Now, I'm closer to Donna than I am with the Rose Bar girls because of my Mondays. And, like, I'm there more than I am at Rose. But can't pick. You can't. I can't pick.
Come on, man.
I can't.
Come on, bro.
Out of respect
See,
for
the
both
DC
of them,
niggas goes to, like, they literally cannot give it to Virginia. They can't. They just can't do it.
No,
you this close to saying that the Darna girls.
Let me tell you
got
something
it
about
over
that.
Rose Bar.
I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, majority of the Rose Bar girls live in Virginia.
Yeah, but once you over across the line,
File Merlin.
Yeah, but once you over there, you know how y'all treat us. Once you over there, you are still technically over there. So you know what I mean. The Darna girls get up in Nova and go right to Nova.
That's true, but who's better? You can't ask me that.
What would you say the top 3 are? And what is your criteria actually? What do you look for?
Now I do think Donna and Rose Bar bottle girls are the best bottle girls in the nightlife. I think Dawn and Rosebud have some of the best bottle girls.
You know what I'm about to say. I hear you say it.
I do think that.
Yeah, no, I will give you that.
And then
Let me try to think.
St. Eve's and Abigail, I think they come in that.
I haven't been out in so long that I've actually forgotten what a bottle girl looks like.
But it's a lot of.
I'm sitting there trying to think about nothing. I looked up, it's just all blank.
I know a lot of bottle girls. You know what I'm saying?
What'd you say?
I know a lot of bottle girls. So
Caspi, we had bottle girls and we had bottle bros.
Listen to me.
Yo, hey, we had the best bottle bros in the world though. Them niggas was
bottle bros is crazy.
It is crazy, though. But it's the truth. Yo, how many times? Yo, come on, for real.
Caspi just
here
different.
Comes GT. Here comes GT.
Caspi's different, man. Caspi is different, bro.
Yo, bro,
that's very true.
It's a good times, dog.
That's very
good
true.
Times.
I miss it, yo.
When's the last time you been over there? When's the last time you been in Caspi?
Good question. Shit, probably like 3-4 months. It's been a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been. Shit. I haven't. We went for her birthday party last year. No, actually, the last time I was there was for the interview I did with Ballhead. I think that's the last time.
That was a minute ago.
No, actually, his interview was first, then her birthday. That was last January. That was a whole year ago.
Damn.
Gotta go back in that.
Yeah, part 2. I'll answer that question.
Peace.